What up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Lounge with your host Mello. And this is not talking about Game Six. Praying Celtics. I'm praying tonight. I feel like they're gonna bring the A game, but we're gonna talk about that tomorrow after Game Six. Our recaps. But today I want to talk about trades that happened last night and trade rumors that's going around. So last night there was a breaking trade with Christian Wood was going to the Mavs. And the Mavericks are just getting Christian Wood, but the Mavs they traded a couple people for C Wood, which it wasn't a bad trade. Honestly, I think the Mavs won this trade. Christian Wood is a good. I believe he plays power forward, maybe center sometimes. I felt bad for Boban. I like Boban. He's a good big man, but it's business in the end of the day. So you got to make stuff that works. But let me find out who they traded him for. So the Mavericks was to get Christian Wood, and the Rockets received Boban, Trey Burke, the number 26 pick. Um, who else? Man, I just had it. Damn it. Oh, fuck. I don't know some of these people's names. I'm sorry. I got two players' names that here we go. I can find it. Let me rephrase this because they had like the players' name with just like the first initial, and I don't really know all the Mavericks players like that. So the Christian Wood was traded to the Mavericks, and the Rockets received Sterling Brown, Boban, Trey Burke, Marquise Chris, and the number 26 pick. I feel like people are sleeping on Christian Wood because he's actually a good player. If you look at his stats from last season in Houston, mind you, I know he's the star there besides guy's the other dude's name, Porter Jr. I believe his name. Um so for the 2020 for this season he averaged 17.9 points per game. He's averaged a block a game, 2.3 steals per game. He could give you some buckets. Boban couldn't give you buckets. I felt like he was good defensively. He could get you rebounds and stuff. But I felt like what the Mavs needed was someone that could also score too, but could actually play defense as well. And I think Christian Wood is good for the Mavs. I think him and Luka is gonna I think they're gonna click very well. And mind you, there's only one trade that's happened so far, and the off season hasn't even started yet. You know, so there's so much more trades that's gonna happen. So we don't even know what the Mavs lineup will even look like. But so far, it's looking good for the Mavs. And I think for the Rockets, they're in their rebuild mode. Um, I feel like they got like a good Boban. He's a good big man, but you know they're not really have no goals of doing anything. They just obviously in rebuild mode thanks to James Harden. But yeah, I feel like their one thing that they got to do too for the Rockets is try to trade John Wall this offseason because they've been trying to trade him for a hot minute now and they just haven't got the right trade. So for that, I'm gonna grade I'm gonna grade the Mavs. I'm gonna go from an A to C. I'm gonna give this an A. Well, I'm gonna give it a B plus. Just because I felt bad for Boban. I really like Boban. And for the Rockets, I'm gonna give it a B minus or B, just because you got a couple players back in return. You really haven't got a player like Christian Wood. That's why they traded so many, players for him and a number. Actually, I'm gonna give it a B because he got the number 26 pick for this upcoming draft. So they could do something with that. They could either trade it, try to get somebody good. You never know. Um, but yeah. But then we have trade rumors going on besides this Christian Wood one that happened last night. We're gonna talk about my man Carmelo Anthony. So supposedly there's talks in the Knicks front office that they want to bring Melo back, and a lot of people know I'm a big Carmelo Anthony fan. I would love to see him back in that Knicks jersey. I'm not gonna lie, but you got to think about it. It all depends what Melo wants in his career. He's a scoring champion. He's what 3-time medalist. He's done it all. The only thing he just hasn't done was make a finals appearance and getting a championship. And he tried to pursue that with the Lakers, but they just had a bad season. But it happens. And I look at it and I'm like, it depends what Melo wants. Does he want to go pursue, try to get a championship? If that's the case, I don't think the New York Knicks will be good for that. My case, because the Knicks were in the playoffs a season ago. They surprised me, and I'm a Knicks fan. And they had expectations to do that this season, and they didn't do it. Whatever it was with coaching, whatever it was with staff, it was just it was a shit show. But they weren't that bad as the usual Knicks. They had like 37 wins in the season, but they have good key players, good young players, and if Melo was to go to the Knicks, I feel like he'll be a good veteran to help out the bench. He's a good ISO player. He's good in the post. Nobody can stop that mid-range post. That fadeaway. And for me, I would love to see him. But if he tries to pursue a championship, then I don't think that's the case. If you want to run it again with the Lakers, it depends on. For me, I think it depends on what the plans are for the Lakers organization, because they signed so many veterans to a 1 year deal. They had to try to get. I feel like they had to get more younger players or role players that could play with them, because you got LeBron, you got AD, you got Russ. That's a trio right there. But and you got Melo in there too. But he's the sixth man. But he put up he put up his work when he was with the Lakers, and nobody could tell me otherwise. Um, but yeah, a team that I could see him play. So there's been other trade rumors. Supposedly, there was during the playoff season. I haven't heard this later on. They were talking about the Celtics and the Miami Heat. At first, I'm like, why the Celtics? Like, they play very good defense, and Melo, he's known to not being the best defensive player in the league, but after seeing this Lakers season, he's been really good defensively. He's got a couple blocks. He'll get some steals. I'm gonna pull up his stats. He he had 13.3 points per game. It was good for a six man. Mind you, the man is 38 years old right now. So the fact that he's still putting up this talent, it just shows a lot. He's put up zero point 0.8 blocks per game, 1 assist per game, 0.7 steals per game. I look kind of low, but when you just I feel like stats don't really match up with the performance. I feel like if you really watch the games, you look at the performance, it's a complete different thing. But I could see him on the Celtics. I see the Celtics, they play ISO ball, so I know he could, you know, that same mid range pull up move that he does all the time. It's unstoppable. But at the same time, I'm like, do the Celtics really want to get a veteran, or you want to pursue getting a different player? or a different position, maybe point guard or something. I don't know. We gotta wait in the off season. And for the Miami Heat, a lot of people told me that they could see him in the Miami Heat, but it's like I can't. I felt like he should have went to Miami back in like 2011, 2012, but to seeing now, just the way that Miami plays, like I don't think he could play with them. But Melo's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I just the way they play, but I'm not sure. But Miami has a very good team. I just feel like um, Tyler Hero, I believe, is a shooting guard. Or, yeah, a shooting guard, I believe. He's good as a six man. Kyle Lowry, he's a good player, but also he wasn't in his same self during the playoffs too. So they got to figure out with Kyle Lowry. You got Duncan Robinson. I love his off the dribble threes. And you have this other dude. I forgot his name. This other cat, but they got young players. But maybe they might need that veteran to look up to get stuff from, you know. But I can't see him in the Miami Heat. And then I have somebody, one of my close brothers. They think about the Warriors to pick him up, and I'm like, There's been talks about that the past couple years, but me personally, it's like I can't see it. Not that I'm trying to be biased or anything. It's just that the way Melo could play ball, like I know nowadays, Melo is adjusting to the new way of basketball. He's more of the catch and shoot corner type of player. That's really what his assignment is to do. Or when he's in his bag, he goes to the mid range. That's his thing. But offensive wise, he's good. But if you could come pick him up for the veteran minimum, then you could, because he's obviously gonna take the vet minimum. I'm assuming because he just wants to play basketball. He doesn't care about the money and all that. He already got that. But I feel like what the Warriors should do first is try to pursue on a big man because that's what they need. And obviously you got James Wiseman, but he's dealing with his injuries and recovering from that. But I feel like the way that James Wiseman played in his rookie season, I feel like he might have to take a step behind and be in the bench, be that backup big man, and Warriors should pick up somebody good like JaVale McGee. I think JaVale McGee still got it. Rudy Gobert, he's in the talks right now. A lot of people are looking for him. They have a lot of options. But me personally, I think I could see him go back to the Knicks if he just doesn't care about the ball. I know it was close to happen last season, but LeBron convinced him to come to the Lakers, and he came. I love the way they played together. Felt like if there was a, feel like it was just a coaching problem, and I feel like Coach Vogel didn't really know how to put them to not them to just put the team together because it's a brand new team. It's like you don't really have your main players that you just had last season because due to injuries. But yeah. So far, this is the trade rumors I heard so far. But there's other trade rumors that I've heard also. But I'm gonna get into that in future podcasts. I just wanted to mention these two trade rumors. And I hope you enjoy the podcast. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you can watch future podcasts. Tomorrow you will see the Game 6 recap. And I'm saying, don't sleep on Boston. I know they're struggling, but I know they don't think it's going down like that. And if it does, you didn't hear this from me. But it ain't gonna happen. But yeah, make sure you follow the IG on Sports Lounge TV. That will be in the name in my bio. And I hope you enjoy the podcast, and I'll see y'all in the next one.